Welcome into Rover Sports. How is everybody doing tonight? Hope everybody's having a really nice Tuesday evening. And today's team that we're going to break down their draft is the Chicago Bears football team. Now, the Chicago Bears have a new coach, Matt Nagy, who I really like. He's from the Andy Reid tree. Andy Reid's tree has Ron Rivera, the Harbaugh brothers, well, John Harbaugh at least, because Harbaugh was in Philadelphia. So Andy Reid's coaching tree is so fruitacious, it's crazy. So you have John Harbaugh, you have Ron Rivera, Doug Peterson, just tremendous coaches in the NFL, and I'm sure that I'm missing some other names of guys and coaches from the Andy Reid tree. The bottom line is the Chicago Bears, Matt Nagy is a guy that if you watch any of Nagy's press conferences, he's a guy that's really getting through to his players. He's doing a lot to involve them. He basically is trying to make this offense as comfortable for Mitchell Trubisky as possible. He read the team the schedule. He has 18-minute pressers. He's very friendly to the media. He is basically a guy that's had to grind to get where he is. He played at Delaware. He's from a small school in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and that's how Matt Nagy got involved, and then he was able to go with Andy Reid up to Kansas City, and he opened up the offense. A lot of deep balls, and he took over for that offense, and that offense hummed in Kansas City when Nagy was there. So Matt's doing a great job getting initiated. Then you have a college coach in Mark Helfrich that's going to initiate some of Oregon's modern technological run-read options, really accenting Mitchell Trubisky and the quick passing game to really attack zone defenses, to also get up the field and cover fours. And basically, when we look at this Bears roster from when Nagy started, it's amazing what it looks like right now. So I'm going to go ahead and now I'm going to talk about exactly this complete draft. So at number 8, the Chicago Bears select Roquan Smith out of the University of Georgia, possibly the safest pick to pick at number 8. Now, Roquan, I think, is going to play on the outside. On the inside, you have Nick Kwiatkowski that's playing very well from West Virginia. I love that pick. You also have Danny Trevathan, who a lot of people will remember for the cheap shot last year, but that's a veteran guy that's been around the block a long time. Leonard Floyd was a project also out of Georgia, so I didn't realize, but Leonard and Roquan should actually be familiar with one another. And Leonard Floyd is a guy that literally has a huge upside. I mean, Leonard Floyd can get to the quarterback. Leonard Floyd is a freak athlete. He just needs to be utilized even more by Vic Fangio, and Vic Fangio could do so many things with Leonard Floyd. He can use him like a toy, and a toy that literally will go ahead and cause defensive coordinators to stay up at night itching their hair. I mean, Leonard Floyd is a guy that's a freaking beast. Now you had Roquan Smith, so in the middle, you're going to now have, the point about Roquan is that you want Roquan to be untouched, right? You want Roquan, because Roquan's not the biggest guy. He's just a speedster, a tackling machine, instinctual beast, but he's not great at getting off blocks. That's why Oklahoma was able to get to him a little bit. Notre Dame in stretches, okay? Auburn in stretches with that offensive line and Braden Smith. But you look at Roquan Smith now, and basically they have him at inside linebacker, but I'd like to see him replace Aaron Lynch at the outside linebacker. Maybe people love Aaron Lynch. I don't know. Bottom line now is that we look now at the defense of the Chicago Bears, and in the middle, Eddie Goldman's great. He's like a siege. He's going to take bodies on bodies and just funnel them into his body, and he's going to accumulate and take up a lot of what the defense is going to do, and that's going to allow Roquan to roam. I don't want him getting caught in the trash. I want Roquan amongst the edges. That's why I would replace Aaron Lynch and I'd put Roquan on the left outside linebacker slot, and I'd have Roquan, Kwiatkowski, Danny Trevathan, and Leonard Floyd, and then you have John Tiamu. John Timu I like a lot. Sam Acho. John Timu's a guy that really impressed me last year watching his tape in the preseason. He's undersized, but he can get after it. So your depth at linebacker now is fantastic. Your linebacking core is awesome. And then when you look around the edges, it's up to Akeem Hicks to stay healthy. Eddie Goldman is a very, very good nose tackle. And then it's up to Jonathan Bullard. I mean, that might be the weakness of your defense, is getting in there and really getting a pass rush with three guys. But you're going to have to rely on Roquan and, of course, Leonard Floyd to apply that pressure. But overall, Roquan Smith is a guy that is one of the safest picks in this NFL draft, okay? This guy is an awesome character on and off the field, a tremendous leader, has a nose for the football, loves playing the game of football, and basically is going to be an impact player because the defense is talented. There's very good linebackers on this team, and Goldman and Hicks are very good players. So I think that this pick was spectacular. An honest home run, safest, awesome pick by the Chicago Bears with a floor that's extremely low. All right. Then we get James Daniels in the second round, the 7th pick overall. That makes it the 39th pick. Okay. Daniels, basically now the offensive line is stacked. I mean, Daniels is a guy from Iowa. He was tremendous as a guard and a center. His hands are so quick. He's able to move his feet so quick. He was a projected first-round pick. Let's look at this offensive line. Cody Whitehair out of Kansas State that went from a guard in Manhattan to now playing as the center position and playing it flawlessly. He's probably going to be now a guard on your offensive line. You have Kyle Long, a first-round pick, maybe the first pick overall. And Charles Leno. You are going to have Bobby Massey, but now Bradley Soul is probably going to be on the outs now, I'd expect. And your offensive line, it's going to be one of the best interior offensive lines, and Jordan Howard is going to have a role because, Mark Helfrich just said, even though the offense is like hurry up, even though the offense is collegey, I don't want it to lose its toughness one bit. You got to be able to run the football. You can't be like a Ben McAdoo. You can't have Mitchell throwing it 40 times. You got to be able to smash it in between the tackles. When you have Kyle Long, Cody Whitehair, and James Daniels, you better smash it in the middle of you better smash defenses, force them to come up. Then you do run read option all day long, throw it over the top to Robinson. And speaking of throwing it over the top, my favorite receiver in this whole damn draft, all he does is make plays, is a walk-on receiver at Memphis, and that is Anthony Miller. Home run, smashing it out of the damn park. Ryan Pace going around the bases, okay? Anthony Miller, boo freaking yeah. I'm going to pull up Anthony Miller's stats, okay? Anthony Miller versus UCLA, a game that was televised on ABC. They beat UCLA with the Rosen one, okay? Anthony Miller in his press conference is so dang confident that he said he could be you know what he could say? He could say he could be an even better version of Antonio Brown, okay? Basically, what's unbelievable is that this guy had to walk on. Crazy story. Growing up out of Memphis, and it's just this kid is just all football, and he has a huge chip on his shoulder. Always felt that he's been doubted ever since he's really had to get a walk-on scholarship at Memphis. And let me go ahead and check out his statistics, okay? Because this guy was off the hook, all right? So at Memphis, 96 catches, 1,462 yards, 18 TDs. I mean, you could say he was playing in the American Conference, but it's still against UCF. I mean, he was absolutely awesome. absolutely awesome. I want to pull up the game versus UCF to prove my point to you, okay? I want to prove it to you. So the schedule and results, they played UCF. It was a shootout, 55-62 game. Come on, give me the box score. Give me the box score. Anthony Miller in that game, 14 catches, 195 yards, 3 touchdowns against the undefeated national champions, against Mike Hughes, who got drafted in the first round. Period. This guy literally can be a star, a Pro Bowler. And now you have him, you have Robinson, okay, Allen Robinson, who already is a Pro Bowl caliber talent. You add Gabriel to the mix. You're going to have Bellamy. And then if somehow Kevin White can contribute a little bit, you also have Tanner Gentry from Wyoming that I'm still not giving up on either. The tight end position is so deep. Deion Sims, Shaheen, and Trey Burton. Adam Shaheen was awesome last year in spots, really developing chemistry with Mitchell Trubisky, and Trubisky's going to be able to get the ball to these guys a lot. He's going to be able to stretch it to Miller, and now it's really on Trubisky. I mean, he has so many weapons, such a good offensive line. This team just improved so much, so much. So I loved the opening picks, and then to top it all off, they get a guy in Kyle Pitts and Javon Wims from Georgia, another weapon, a guy who can go up and get back shoulder fades. And then you get Kyle Pitts from Utah. I believe it's another linebacker that you can add more depth to for Vic Fangio. The only thing is I would kind of like a pass rusher, but there wasn't really any elite pass rushers this year in the 3-4. So if you could get an outside guy in the 3-4 that's a great defensive end, that would be something that the Bears can utilize. And I am going to say this. I think that the Bears' weakness, I'm not just going to be all homerish, the Bears' weakness, I believe, is Prince Amukamara, cornerback, and Kyle Fuller was pretty good last year. And then you look at Adrian Amos. Can Adrian play really well? We all know what Eddie Jackson did. Eddie Jackson was a steal in the 4th round. He won that game against the Carolina Panthers, 2 pick sixes. So we're going to have to see how that continues to develop, that storyline about safeties. But listen, you know who's a sleeper? The Chicago Bears in the undrafted market, they picked up a 5-star recruit from LSU, DBU, Kevin Tolliver. And Kevin, you know, he was kind of buried behind, some like Dante Jackson, a couple of really other good quarters. Like I think Greeny Williams was on that team too. Kevin, you know, they said that he was a little bit aloof at times, wasn't focusing as well as he should have been. So off the field, he needed to be more focused towards football. But now you take a flyer on him, and Kevin Tolliver 6'2", and this is a guy that's rangy, and I want to see him compete in camp. I'm excited about Tolliver. I hope Tolliver stays, the light switch comes on, and he could be the player he was for his whole life, which has been an elite level high school recruit, and he could get some of that mojo back. So I love taking Kevin Tolliver, and we'll have to see. The defensive backfield, Prince is always hurt, so you're going to have to see if the defense, you know, in terms of pass protection can hold up, because against the run, it should be pretty damn nasty. So the Chicago Bears are going to be scary now. I mean, Anthony Miller, Roquan Smith, and James Daniels, those 3 picks, holy mackerel. Great offensive line, wide receivers now above average, and linebackers, fantastic. So what a draft by Ryan Pace. Excellent.